Now, speaking of, there are reports that Meghan has made demands before she and Harry can actually reconcile with William and Kate, including a grovelling apology. Gee, Emily, she really takes herself very seriously, doesn't she?
She takes herself very seriously, but she always presents herself as the victim in every situation, whether it's a victim of racism, whether it's a victim of sexism, whether it's a victim of the nasty British people in the royal family. She seems to think she's just so much more special than anyone else, and that whatever she says, whatever she thinks about a situation, is the truth. But the problem is that both of them, both Harry and Meghan, seem utterly unable to see things from anyone else's perspective other than their own. You might have thought, after all this time away from the royal family, there would be some introspection. Perhaps they could apologise for the accusations they made in that Oprah interview. Perhaps they could apologise for sharing private messages for money. Perhaps they could apologise for abandoning royal duties and leaving William and Catherine to take up all the strain. I mean, seriously, I think there needs to be an element of introspection from their side before there's any big makeup.
Well, I mean, you'd think so, right? But the two of them just have absolutely no perception whatsoever. Now, speaking of Prince Harry, he has dished on the pressures of modern corporate life during a Beyond Burnout summit. What has he said?
Yeah, so this was a summit held by the life coaching app Better Up in California. Now, Prince Harry is apparently their chief impact officer. He's reportedly on a 7-figure salary for this company, despite the company actually making over 100 redundancies last year. So reportedly, there are a few disgruntled employees over the cost of his chief impact officer role. But according to the Sussex.com website, anyway, Prince Harry hosted an insightful conversation on managing pressure in the workplace, building resilience, fostering a culture that supports sustainable performance. You know, he goes on about the psychological toll there is through uncertainty. He shares his personal anecdotes about his own mental health. But when I saw this story, I thought, what on earth does Prince Harry know about corporate life? What does he know about climbing the greasy ladder? All he seems to have been is parachuted into these roles where he has to do a few panels every year. He's parachuted into this deal with Netflix and Spotify and everything else. He gets someone else to write his big memoir for him. And besides that, he just seems to spend his time feeling sorry for himself.
Well, exactly. I mean, the guy's never stepped foot in an office in his life. He's never worked a 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. It's just absolutely extraordinary, Emily. Now, J.K. Rowling has said that she will never forgive Harry Potter stars Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson over their unwavering and vocal support of the trans community. What's this all about?
Yes, I'm not surprised. So here in the UK, there has been a massive government commissioned report out in the UK, and it's made waves. It's all about how the NHS, our National Health Service, has been treating children who question their gender. Now, it says children have been badly let down. It suggests that clinicians have pushed children into medical treatment, into hormone blockers, into cross-sex hormones, rather than provide them with holistic care, rather than provide them with therapy. Now, this is something that J.K. Rowling has been talking about for years. She's been calling this out. She's been talking about women's rights. She's been talking about how children are going down a route of irreversible damage. And it's people like Daniel Radcliffe and it's people like Emma Watson who both owe so much to J.K. Rowling, but are so quick to call her out for what they call transphobia. I think it's time that they actually listened, that they appreciated what J.K. Rowling has done for them. They wouldn't be in any position. They wouldn't have their fortunes. They wouldn't have their fame if it weren't for this author. Perhaps they owe her an apology because she's the one with any moral courage.
Yes, spot on. She is the only one with the moral courage out there to stand up for what she believes in. Emily Carver, good to speak with you as always. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.